All right, yesterday we wound up getting a little bit more rain than we expected. Got about 2/10 total. It was drizzly, cloudy, wet all day long, so we won't get done with harvest today. So I have one other crop we can cut while we're waiting on the beans to dry out. I almost forgot about this crop like I do every single year. We got a corn maze to get, and we're going to do it with our draper header again, because our corn head is cleaned up, put in the shed, away for the winter, not going to get it dirty again. We've only got like 9 acres of corn maze to do, and the draper head does a pretty decent job on it. So while we're waiting on the beans to dry out, we're gonna get all this corn shelled, and then we got another field on the other side of this tree line for the zombie trail that the trailers drive around. So let's go ahead and get the last of the corn for 2023 knocked out. All right, well, I hope these corn stalks have dried out enough that they don't give me fits. But we put our rotor back in first gear. Well, that's it for the corn maze. Another 9 acres done, so it's getting close to noon. Hopefully my beans have dried out enough. We're going to get quickly moved back to the farm we was on, try and wrap up those 6-7 acres got left, and then get moved on up there around Porter Cable and get as many of these beans done before the sun goes down, because I know it'll definitely slow down once that happens.
This has definitely been one of our most challenging harvests to date. And in the words of Forrest Gump, I'm pretty tired. I think I'm gonna go home now.
All right, 2:30. We just got done with last 7 acres on the previous farm. Just got moved over here to our last area up here in the Porter Cable area. Got 3 separate farms right here in this area. Got about 93 acres to do. So 2:30. Let's see how quickly we can get this knocked out. So anyway, it's a good thing we got grain bins, because there's no granaries open today because of the rain yesterday. Plus these beans would be too wet to take to the granary. We take a huge dock on them. They're running about 17.5%, but you know what? Got more rain coming in tomorrow night and Monday, and beans take a while to dry out. But they cutting good, they threshing easy. We're gonna stick them in the bin. We're gonna run some air on them, probably do a little bit of blending them, and that'll bring that moisture down. We'll probably still take a little bit of a dock on them whenever we pull them out of the grain bin, because they're gonna be on the very top level of the grain bin, and it's real hard to dry them up there, but they're gonna be out of the field, and right now, that's about all I care about at this point. I want to be done with this harvest. I'm ready to start going home early at night, and ready to just kind of let some of this stress we've been feeling all year long, just let it go. You know, the stress of things having to be done right now. Yeah, I'm ready to start feeling that feeling again, to where, hey, if we don't get it done today, we can get it done tomorrow, and it ain't gonna hurt our operation a dang bit. Anyway, we got, I don't know, about 2.5 hours before the sun sets. We got a real nice breeze blowing today, and hopefully it continues on into the night. Otherwise, it's going to be some slow cutting, or it might even potentially shut us down before we get done. So man, I I hope that breeze continues on so we can get these acres knocked through in a hurry. Well, I don't know if we're going to get done today or not. You see that dust hanging around from my last pass? That means our wind has gone. That sun's going down. There's a good chance it's going to get real damp real quick. I have a feeling we're going to have a heavy dew tonight. So it'll surprise me if we get much more running in the rest of the day. I'm going to try and at least get this field done and get moved across the creek, but looks like it may be tomorrow before we wrap up, if then. Yeah, we fogging up all of North Jackson, and I can tell it's definitely getting wet out there. But we got this field done, this side of the creek. Move over yonder. We got about 74 acres left, but it's going to shock me if it happens today.
How much longer I'm gonna chase this combine around? I hope it's not much longer, but it's almost done.
Well, we made it to the field. It's still cutting. I have no idea how it's still cutting because it's still wet out there. I mean, we're not even hardly kicking any dust out the back, but maybe it's a hand of God feeding the soybeans in without pushing up piles. But they going in. The header, they still going in the grain tank, so we're gonna keep on going. But we made it to the field that has not looked good all year long. I mean, look at these beans, they're short, skippy. We didn't get a great stand out here, and honestly I don't know why. I mean, we made some of our best wheat here, but it wasn't too much straw on the ground. I mean, seed was still getting in the ground, but for whatever reason this one field of beans has looked like crap all year long. And I mean, it's showing on the yield monitor, I mean, 42 bushels an acre, whereas right across the creek, planted the same day, same variety, was, you know, 60, 70 bushels an acre. I don't know. I noticed when we were spraying the fungicide, I'm like, man, these things are just short and thin. And it looks like we've had a lot of deer pressure across the whole field. But I mean, you see all that traffic out there? That's Highway 45. Got a big, busy 4-lane right there. I mean, I have seen deer out here, but you wouldn't think they'd venture across the whole field, but for whatever reason. But I mean, if this is the only bad field of our entire year that's got some really disappointing yields, that's pretty dang good. I'm not going to complain. I kind of wish I knew the reason behind it. We still taking the acres down. We're gonna keep on going until the moisture runs us off. All right, guys. Know you can't see much of it, but here it is. Last field of 2023. I got 53 acres on this farm. Again, don't know if we'll be able to get it all done tonight. We are still cutting. Don't know how. But I can tell it's slowly getting a little wetter. But we're gonna do everything in our power to push through this tonight, because there's not a single one of us wants to work tomorrow on a Sunday. But if I can make it all the way around the end rows, around the field where we're having to go with the rows, we'll stand a lot better chance. Because the main thing that's going to stop us from cutting is my header pushing up piles with all that, you know, wheat residue, the guards hitting the wheat residue, and instead of just cutting it when it gets damp, it just kind of wants to push it up in a pile. Well, just like it did right over there. So we can raise our cutter bar up out of the straw a little bit with the tilt on this draper head, which is one of the great features of it. But if we raise it up too much, then we're going to be getting up above the lowest pods on the soybean plant, and then we'll be leaving yield out here. But like I said, if I can get all these end rows done where we're going with the rows, then the main part of the field, I can start going at an angle to the rows, and then whenever, if the guard starts pushing up a pile of wheat stubble, once it encounters a soybean stalk, it's got some resistance, that will kind of push that straw into the knife and cut it, and will keep me from pushing up piles. That's the main reason that we cut at an angle to the rows. But where we're cutting with the rows, you know, we got all the wheat straw in between the rows that's doesn't have anything to push up against, and that's when we really start pushing up piles. So I've only got on like 50 yards on the end rows, and I've already pushed up 2. So it shows you how wet it is. I'd give anything for a good stiff breeze just to come in for a couple hours. We could get this done.
So the road back to the service truck is a little bumpy. I just dropped off Andy, and he's gonna bring it back to the other field that is on the other side of the new hospital. Oh, and we'll see if Matt's still pushing up piles or he's still rolling and going. But oh, he's gonna beat me. There goes Andy. Definitely gonna beat me for sure, but it is now 8:45 and I don't know if we're gonna get done or keep going. All I know is I'm hungry. I didn't have time to make any lunches today, so we've just been going since 8 a.m. Oh, finally flat ground.
Well, I don't want to. I want to call it for the night. It's right after 9 o'clock and it's done gotten wet. Plus, I'm almost out of fuel and don't think we got much in the service truck. We still got like 35 acres left to do. I mean, if rain was coming like first thing in the morning, yeah, we'd probably push through, but I mean, I'm just getting slower and slower, pushing up more and more piles. But forecast is supposed to be sunny tomorrow and 62 degrees, so we'll get out here tomorrow morning, get everything finished up, hopefully. Man, I just want to get it done today, but it's just not going to happen. I'll see y'all back out here with some daylight. All right, last day, for real this time. Unless we have a breakdown. With it being a Sunday, you don't ever know. That would be just our luck. Get down the last couple acres and then something break down. Can't get no parts. Rain coming tonight and tomorrow. Thanksgiving coming up this week. Multiple chances of rain this week. That would be the Griggs Farms look right there. I hope the good Lord's smiling down on us today, because we got to get this done. And it looked like we might have saved our best for last. I mean, 76 bushels an acre is what it's yielding right here in this spot. Double crop beans. I mean, my God, that's like really, really hard to do on full season beans, let alone double crop. That's that down to 70 bushels there. Man, what some fantastic beans. You know, that last field literally right across the tree line there was, it probably averaged 35 to 40, had a poor stand. Same variety planted the same day. Don't know what the difference was. You think deer pressure would be the same? I don't know. But regardless, man, these are some good beans. And guys, that leads me into this. I really hope y'all have appreciated the harvest this year, because what y'all have witnessed, if you watched all of our videos, what you witnessed is most likely a once in a lifetime harvest. This is the kind of harvest that every farmer shoots for and dreams about every year, to where you have either record yields or almost record yields all the way across the board. And if you look at our harvest this year, corn harvest, I believe we had our second best corn harvest ever, with a lot of our corn actually being on marginal ground. Full season soybeans, no comparison there, far and away our best harvest ever. Cotton, I hadn't got all my cotton ginned yet, but I believe for the most part, you know, what we had ginned so far, his best has been over 1,500 pounds. The next several farms that's already been ginned was 1,200 plus pounds. And I know cotton yields tailed off a little bit there at the end, but I think still they was probably, 1,000 pounds or better. So we'll definitely be looking at our best cotton yield ever. And then double crop soybeans, you seeing it right here. I mean, there's no comparison. By far the best yields I've ever seen. And across the board, practically every farm of every crop has been just absolutely stupendous. Our wheat crop this year was fair. It wasn't great. I don't know if I'd consider it good, but we still average right there around 80 bushels an acre. If that's our worst crop out of the year, this is something I'll try to duplicate again next year, but there's a very real chance that we won't duplicate this success again in my lifetime to have every single crop hit in a year. Do you know how much the stars have to align for that to happen? Because each crop requires its own specific conditions that it would consider to be ideal for maximum yield. What leads to big corn yields doesn't necessarily lead to big cotton yields. And then soybeans kind of somewhere there in between. But the big difference this year is the good Lord blessed us with the exact weather that we needed. It got a little dry from time to time, but we've done enough with soil health to kind of carry us through those dry spells, storing more moisture in the soil. But when it did rain, for the most part, it rained at night. It was sunny the day that it rained, and then it was sunny the day after it rained, and we got just enough water to get us through the growing season, but we had all this sunlight, and that's what plants need for photosynthesis and big yields, is sunlight. And we were blessed with that this year. Yeah, it got a little dry there in June, not really enough to really hurt yields. Yeah, it got a little dry there in September. If we got another rain in September, there's no telling what these beans could have done, because they did start turning a little earlier than what they should have. And the only one bad thing weather-wise that really happened to us this year is the very specific conditions that led to us having to replant 80% of our cotton. If that hadn't happened, we could have been looking at averaging 1,500 pounds per acre across the board on cotton. But anyway, here after harvest sometime, I'll do another video, let you know what the exact final numbers were. Once I got a chance to figure everything up, once we get all of our cotton ginned, I'll let you know exactly what the yields were and how they compared to our previous best years. But this is a once in a lifetime experience, and the good Lord has just blessed us bountifully this year. We'll try to do it again next year, but there's only so much that we as farmers can control. So much is left up to Mother Nature and factors out of our control that it was a perfect alignment of stars this year to see what we've seen. So I know I really appreciated it, and I really hope y'all have enjoyed watching this once in a lifetime achievement. That being said, this harvest, it hasn't been without its difficulties and frustrations. A lot, we've had some issues with equipment, just aggravating stuff. Hadn't really had anything big major, but we've had just a ton of aggravating stuff that slows us down. And with the absolutely picture perfect weather we've had this fall, the weather could not have been any better this fall for getting our crop out. In reality, we should not be getting done on November 19th. We should have definitely gotten done earlier than that, but getting a late start to corn harvest, waiting on it to dry down, and then just losing countless 30 minutes here and hours there throughout the growing season, just and it all adds up, and it added up this year to several extra days here in the field. But we're right here knocking on the door, glad to be done, glad to finally be able to take a breather, start going home at 5 o'clock, not worrying about having to get that job done that day. If it don't get done that day, it'll be there tomorrow. you know, I'm really going to enjoy that for about the next 3.5 to 4 months or so before we get to start this all over again.
Okay, maybe today will be the day we finish up. Maybe, I don't know. If everything goes well, we should be done by the end of today. And then begins cleaning everything and then hauling corn and all that stuff. So just because field work ends doesn't mean that actually we're done. So we're never done ever. I mean, we might get Christmas off. That's about it, but lots to do. Why does everything break down on the last day? I don't even know what that is, but it's new. Small fire, and now this wants to make noise. Oh. Some days you just go, okay.
Oh, got some smoke here. Why is this always happening? Where's it coming from? It's coming from up there around the rudder gear case. Probably some chaff and stuff caught fire from or started smoldering from the turbo, so we're gonna go up here to the search truck and blow off right there around the engine and stuff real good. It looks like that's where it's coming from. Not the first time it's happened. Definitely won't be the last either. Thankfully, all these soybean dust boogers haven't stopped my nose up enough that I can't smell a whiff of smoke. And I'm keeping an eye on it there in the mirror. It's still definitely coming out. Is it coming from right there around that inside the chopper bearing or something?
It's right at the bottom of the chopper bearing right here. I don't know what caused it, but...
Oh, there it is. Woo!
There it
Yeah,
is.
look at those sparks. Some of that dust gets on the turbo and catches fire, then blows down there.
Did you smell it, or did you see a little...
Oh, I smelled it when I turned around there. Here, let me get it sound like you a little sick there. Yeah, it was back up in there, commonplace. Well, folks, that right there is what happens when you say, I only got 35 acres left. I ain't gonna mess around with blowing it off today. It'll be okay. Thankfully, it was okay, but it was this close to not being okay. If I hadn't happened to catch that whiff of smoke whenever I was turning around, yeah, it wasn't too far from blazing up. You know, you got all that air coming off the fan on the radiator, and it kind of keeps the engine compartment clean, but if a little bit of dirt lands up on top of that turbo manifold and ignites, and then the fan blows it off on all that dust on the side, which is exactly what happened. You know, you saw all that dust. I mean, it can go up and it can go from smoldering to actual flames in just a few seconds, and we got real lucky. One of these days though, I'm not gonna get lucky and probably gonna have one burned to the ground. But when you get there close to the end and get complacent, start slacking on maintenance like I did last night and this morning. I agree the thing, but I don't want to get all nasty and itchy on a Sunday. We got 35 acres to go. It'll be fine. Well, it almost wasn't fine. Anyway, this is all we like. It's probably on 8-9 acres. We'll have it wrapped up. Well, the awesome year that we've had, we finally got all of our bills paid. Banks paid, banknotes paid, landlords paid, and everything else from here on out is pure profit. Well, crap. Looks like I want to stop by the local gas station for Kelly's Christmas present again this year. All joking aside, here it is, guys. This is what the rose we've been searching for over 2 months now. And if something breaks down in the next 20 feet, this little spot's just going to be sitting here next spring. Oh, man. I can finally feel the tension just coming off of my body. You just don't realize how much, 2 months of just solid, just go, get it done right now, how much it affects you physically. We know what it does mentally, but just physically what it does to you, it just wears on you. And I got a feeling going home tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, there's a good chance I'm probably just going to crash. It's going to take me several weeks to get over it. But here it is, guys. There it is. All of our crop is harvested. Man, what a year. What a harvest. And I'm glad I was able to preserve it on video.
And just like that, very, very late, harvest is finally done. Right before Thanksgiving.
Because I'm pretty sure years from now, I'll rewatch these videos and think, man, that was a once in a lifetime harvest. Well, guys, it's Sunday afternoon. We're going to drop the header, get this equipment back in there, get the truck unloaded, and we're going to head to the house. I don't know what video is going to be coming up next. We still got to go back to work tomorrow. We still got all of our fields. We got to bush hog around.
What's the plan now?
We done a little bit of it. We got all this equipment we got to clean, and then very shortly, right after Thanksgiving, we're going to start hauling corn. And we got all of our end of year stuff, financials, landlords to pay. I mean, all the business stuff got to get caught up on before the end of the year. Unload, we take equipment in, and Andy can drop me off to get the service truck and header trailer on his way home.
What's the plan for the rest of the afternoon?
Go home. Well, there it is, folks. It's mighty fitting we finish off this year with a full grain cart. Well, guys, don't know what the next video is going to be, but appreciate y'all riding along with this harvest. Hope y'all enjoyed it all, and we'll see you in the next video, whatever it might be. Hopefully, it won't be chasing some steers that got out of the fence, because yep, we got to get steers too here right after Thanksgiving.
Tell you all about the veil of tears. Tell you about the bright side too. The rest is something you just gotta hear before it slips away from you.
Lord, thank you for just absolutely wonderful harvest. Harvest that me and so many other farmers dream of. Thank you for letting me realize it. Thank you for providing for us. Thank you for the wonderful weather that you blessed us with to be able to get this crop out, Lord. And Lord, just please help me to not take this harvest, this crop that you provided us, for granted. Please continue to just remind me of all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us.
Time, it'll break a promise in time. Keep you honest in time. It'll slip on down the line. Yes, time will make you nervous in time. Serve its purpose in time. Time, time, time. Time, time, time.
Lord, please watch over us in the coming months as we catch up on rest from this year and as we make preparations to get started for another year next year. Lord, please help us learn from the mistakes that we made this year so that we might not repeat them again. And Lord, just please give us the wisdom we need to successfully prepare for another season. Lord, thanks for all the blessings that you give us each and every day. Thank you for watching over us and guiding us, Lord. For I pray these things in Christ's name, amen.
Time, it'll keep you honest in time. Break a promise in time. Time, time. Make you nervous in time. Serve its purpose in time.